Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today we're diving into a semi-annual report, and let me tell you, some companies bury their bad news like pirates hiding treasure, so stick around to see how things go. If you appreciate getting straight insights from corporate documents, make sure you're subscribed. We also have a Discord community linked in the description below. Let's unpack what Franklin Value Investors Trust is telling us with their latest filing. This report covers the period up to April 30, 2025. It's a look at how the Franklin mutual funds are doing halfway through their fiscal year, which ends in October. Remember, their main contact info is 800 Diakaj Krev 5236. First, a quick look at fund cost. For the Franklin Mutual Small Mid Cap Value Fund Class A, the cost for a hypothetical $10,000 investment over the last 6 months were $54. This translates to an annualized expense ratio of 1.15%. That means that it costs you about 1% a year for them to make a profit on your money. It's important to note that this number reflects fee waivers and expense reimbursements, without which the cost would have been higher, and that this is an annualized number, or what it would amount to in a typical year. Let's glance at some key stats. The total net assets for this fund are around $182 million. Also, the portfolio consists of around 64 holdings that do not include derivatives. The portfolio turnover rate, meaning how often the fund changes its investments, is about 57.89%. I'll say that is high, but I am not a financial analyst, though this also is annualized, or what the expected turnover rate would be. Expected turnover rate would be in one entire year. So if it stays the same, it will be around 30%. What about what the fund invests into? The portfolio is heavily weighted in financial securities, around 28%, followed by the technology area around 24%. As said earlier, this is about what it amounts into given the investments. There's also sectors like consumer discretionary products and real estate. This semi-annual shareholder report contains important information about Franklin Mutual Small Mid Cap Value Fund for the period November 1, 2024 to April 30, 2025. Now, to the good stuff, the financial highlights for the Franklin Mutual Small Mid Cap Value Funds Class A shares, the net asset value at the beginning of the period was nearly $30. After income from investment operations and distributions, the net asset value at the end of the period landed around $22. The expense ratio, which tells us how much of your money goes to running the fund, was 115%. The portfolio turnover rate was about 57%. Looking at Franklin Market US Mid-Cap Class A, there was. The expense ratio, net of waivers, drops a bit to 0.88%. The portfolio turnover rate is greatly reduced to 24.10%, the expense ratio. Before waivers and other sweeteners is 0.90%. Finally, net investment income per share sits at 0.23, and the realized losses are up to 1.78, so it seems the fund did not do so hot during the semi-annual review period. You are able to find extra information about where they invest by scrolling in the provided regulatory fund documents. Now, stepping back to look at the bigger picture, several key risks and opportunities stand out. While the report itself doesn't explicitly list these, our analysis paints a clearer picture. That seems like they had a rough first part of this period, so it may be prudent to move somewhere else. In that case, it is likely things will stabilize if their positions become more stable. What it boils down to is this: it's a big fund managing a respectable amount of money. There are risks, as these investments are publicly known and based on the skill of their agents, so it's hard to assess if the juice is worth the squeeze for you. Alright, that's our breakdown of Franklin Value Investors Trust semi-annual report. What's your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Also, consider checking out our Discord below. Thanks for watching. See you next time.